Quick disclaimer, all the footage that was recorded on this video was made on PC, not on Xbox nor PS4 footage. That footage is actually restricted for now due to the developers of 11. So everything you're about to see here was actually recorded on PC. However, the same build that we have on PC seems to be the same build that we're going to have on Xbox and PS4. Now, with that said, let's get this video started. Now, ladies and gentlemen, with the new beta keys just dropping today on Tuesday, I decided to come together and decided to make a complete guide on one short episode. This is going to be more of a fast pace. If you wanted more in detail, like step by step what I'm thinking and doing, then make sure to go check out the beginner's guide. I don't know what I'm going to call this video yet, but let's just get started. Now, you've spawned into Rust Beach. What should you do next? It's very easy. You're going to get your ass out of that beach real quick. You're going to stick out your rock and you're going to stare around, see what you got around you. Make sure that you keep an eye out. There are going to be other players on the vicinity, so please be careful. Go to your nearest tree and you're going to do just like if you were playing Minecraft. You're going to pound that tree as hard as you can. Make sure to aim directly at the red X's, for they are going to give you critical hits. Now, you might be wondering, what the hell do I need critical hits for? It is very easy. You're going to harvest the tree a lot faster and it's going to cost less damage to the item that you're using. Now, you're going to pound as many trees as you can, and as well as pound as many rocks as you can while making your way inland. You want to get away from the beach as fast as possible, for these are where all the fresh spawns are at. And I'm going to tell you guys something, as a fresh spawn, we have nothing to lose. So while you're over here farming, minding your own business, we are going to come and clap you while you're not staring. Now, as you make your way inland, you're going to find these things right here. They're called rock nodes. You're going to do the same thing that you did to the tree. You're going to pound this rock. Now, unlike the tree, it's not going to have a red X. It's going to have this little shiny light that you see right here. You're going to hit that light, same thing as a tree, in order to get critical hits. That way you could harvest this resource a lot faster and get going more inland. Once you collect enough resources in order for you guys to craft a little stone hatchet and a stone pickaxe, you're going to make sure you do this as you will make your way more inland. While you're doing this, you're going to grab your beautiful, beautiful rock that you spawned in with, and you're going to hit that trigger and you're just going to get rid of this piece of shit. You're not going to need this piece of shit rock anymore. Now you're no longer a broke bitch. Now you could afford some stone tools. Now you're going to grab your stone tools and you're going to do the exact same thing we've been doing for the last 2 minutes. Now, on your way over here, you're going to find a little things like this, these little notes. Make sure to pick them up. You don't even have to harvest them. You literally just pick them off the floor. And while you're doing that, sometimes you're going to find ooh, look what we found. We found a little person sleeping on the floor. What you're going to do is when you find other players, you're going to just make sure you rob them for everything they got. And look at this. This guy was so nice. He already had the stuff crafted for me. Make sure to give the friendly tea back before you go on your way. And then you head out. Oh, before I forget, actually, before you even head out and after you do the friendly tea back, make sure to harvest the actual body. Kill this person and actually harvest the body. You're going to get bones and you're going to get meat. You're going to get hungry later, and as much as you don't want to be a cannibal, you're going to starve and you're actually going to be like, maybe this human steak is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Also, you're going to need these bones for future references in order to craft weapons and armor. Now, you might be wondering, where the hell am I going inland? I just keep walking inland and harvesting wood and stone. It's really easy. My suggestion to you is to try to build near a monument. Monuments are these little key points around the map. If you are a new player to Rust, my suggestion to you would be to build near the outpost. This looks like this. It has a bunch of little green things around it. That is going to be the best choice if you're a new beginner. It has all the things that you're going to need for a new beginner there in regards to blueprints and stuff like that, but we'll get a little bit more in detail into that later on in the video. Now, on your way to wherever you're going to put down your base, make sure to collect as many of these little things right here. They are called hem. To me, they look like little Christmas trees, but to you, it's going to be your best friend in the sense of you're going to be able to craft sleeping bags, clothes, and many more things that you are going to be needing for key ingredients in order to survive in this Rust apocalyptic game. Now that you've been harvesting this entire time, you're going to do a couple of things. You're going to be making a sleeping bag, you're going to be making the hammer, and you're going to be making some blueprints while you're at it. Make sure to also make a stash in order for you to stash away your loot. Now, PC Rust players are going to tell you never make stashes. They're bad things. Hackers could get them. But guess what? You're not playing on PC. You're playing on console. So you're not going to have to worry about things like ESP, stuff like that. So you could actually utilize stashes. Now, unless somebody sees you burying your stash, I think you are going to be a-okay. You're going to choose a location where you're going to slap down your base. You're going to graph down your blueprint. You're going to put it up into your hotbar, and then you're going to just start going to town. Now I'm going to build the basic actual base that I built on every single wipe. This is a starter base. If you guys want to look more in detail on how this base looks, make sure to go check out the video. It was actually done by a YouTuber named Stevie. It's one of his old build videos. I want to give shouts out to Stevie, even though he doesn't need it. He's a big content creator, but I love his builds. A lot of his build I actually use. Now, guys, this is a big mistake that a lot of new Rust players make. When you finish building your base, before you even slap down the doors or anything like that, before you even upgrade the base to stone, make sure to prefab what is called a TC. Like it looks like this. Make sure to make it as 1,000 wood, slap it down and authorize on it, and put a key lock on it. If you do not put a key lock on it, somebody could just do what I just did right now. Walk up to a base, put a TC on it. Now it's my base. Please make sure you put a TC down if you don't want your hard work to be stolen, like easy peasy. Alright, now that we have a base going, we're going to slap down our sleeping bag. That way we can spawn in. If you have enough hem to make another sleeping bag, you could actually place another one down and assign it to a friend. We don't have a friend right now playing with us, so we're just going to name our sleeping bag Poop in order for us to know exactly what sleeping bag that is. Another huge mistake that I see a lot of Rust new players make is that they forget to lock the door. Now, unless you're using the little keypad, which that's a little bit more advanced of a lock, for starters, you're going to be just using the normal wooden lock door. Now, when it comes down to this lock, you have to make sure that the light is not glowing green. The light has to be glowing red in order for you to make sure that it's actually locked. If it's green, somebody could just open the door, even pick out the lock, and now they could put their lock themselves, and now this door belongs to them. In order for you to even open this door, either you have to know the code, have a key, or just blow your own door down. It's literally that simple and that easy to steal a base. So please make sure, triple check that you lock the door. Now, we have been running a lot and doing a lot of things. I bet you by now we're getting a little hungry or even a little thirsty. So what we're going to have to do is that we're going to have to crap a couple of things in order for us to go seek out some food. I would say run very skinny. What I mean by skinny is don't carry a lot of stuff with you when you go out, because you're bound to die. So it's best if you do die, you don't lose a lot of stuff, and rather just the minimum amount that you're going to be carrying on you that is necessary. I would say if you're going to go out, take out your stone tools with you, go with a torch, and make sure you take a little bow or a little makeshift bow and some arrows. It's not really that expensive to make. You're going to need some cloth, some wood, and for the arrows, you're just going to need some stone and some wood, and then you're going to be on your way. Now, there are many ways on how to get food, and I'll show you right now. Now, one of my favorite places to get food is from the actual swamp, where it's called Abandoned Cabinet. Just make sure to follow the road. When you follow the road, you're going to be able to find little, I guess, I don't know what to call them, like little monuments, I guess you could call them, but they're like this. They're like wreckage that you could actually harvest barrels. You could harvest things like the boxes. You're going to find things like scrap, pieces of parts that you're going to need in order to craft guns or other types of equipment. So be on the lookout for this. The only dangerous part is that you're not going to be the only person on the road, so be on the lookout for that. Other people are going to be looking for these items as well. Now, one of my favorite things about the swamp is that there's food literally laying around everywhere. When you get inside the abandoned cabinet, or as I like to call it, the swamp, you're going to find a lot of loot boxes there. Just keep an eye out for that green card, because you're going to need that green card in order to do like higher tier monuments, which you're going to get higher tier loot from. There's going to be green, blue, and red. It's in that order. We're going to talk a little bit more about monuments on a separate video, but this is just a starter, guys. So all you need to know is just grab that green card because you're gonna need it for a future monument. Now, other places to spawn food as well as a green card is gonna be a monument called the supermarket. As you can see, the supermarket, obviously it's a supermarket, it's gonna have food. Just be on the lookout for the little blue baskets. That's usually where the food is at, as well as just whenever you find boxes, just make sure to open it up. There's a couple of boxes in the outside as well as in the inside. Once again, this is a monument, so make sure you are well equipped to PvP. Maybe you won't, maybe you will, but there's going to be a lot of people contest. Another monument that is actually as well full of food and as well as has a green card is going to be the gas station. Same thing, every gas station has a convenience store, so it is the one in Rust, and is gonna have food. You're gonna be looking out for food as well, and you're gonna be looking out for the green card that is inside one of the offices in the back. Just make sure you get all the food around here. Make sure to be on the lookout. Once again, this is a contested, actually I believe the gas station is more contested than the supermarket. So yeah, and the reason why that is because it has a grinder in the back. And you're gonna find people here, actually, I mean, it's not really called a grinder, it's called technically a refinery. So yeah, you're gonna be seeing people here to expect PvP here, as well as if you were to go down a hole right here by the refinery, you're gonna see a couple of boxes there. Just be on the lookout, because when you're climbing or down or upstairs, you cannot use a weapon, and somebody could just camp you at the top or at the bottom waiting for you to just, you know, get caught slipping, and they're gonna loot all your stuff. So be careful with these type of things. Another way to get food in Rust is if you want to be a real man and you want to go out hunting, make sure to get your bows, your freaking arrows, and you're just gonna go out hunting. Yes, just like any other survival game, in this game you actually could hunt animals and get the bacon off their back. In my opinion, this is one of the best ways to get food, because when you cook this meat, it actually increases your food by a shit ton of freaking, and it also heals you as well. On top of all that, when you are harvesting the animal, you actually will get fat. And you're going to need fat mixed with cloth in order to make low-grade fuel. And you're going to need low-grade fuel in order to craft things like refinery forge, things like flamethrower ammo, and other sorts of things. So maybe you're looking at bow and arrow to be a more reliable thing. Also, I would suggest for you guys to practice aiming. As you could tell, I suck at aiming these bows, so please get better at it. I've seen people like disgusting. If you go look at it on Rust on YouTube and see like bow plays, you're gonna see people like literally killing guys with gear with just the bow and arrows. If you really get good at this bow, you're gonna clap a lot of people. So my suggestion is really get good with this. On top of the bow being such a great weapon, you also, when you go up to the arrows, you could actually pick them back up. So think about like shooting a gun and being able to pick up the bullets. Like, thanks, I never have to run out of bullets. This is why the bow is one of my favorite things. The next thing for me, it has to be the crossbow. It's not only cheap, it's really cheap to make the ammo on the go, and you don't really have to stress about it, because if somebody steals your arrows and stuff like that, I was like, oh well, I could just make more. It's not that expensive. Now that you have food, you're gonna make it back to your base, and you're gonna focus on trying to make as much as you can of low-grade fuel. Now there's many ways on how to get low-grade fuel. Number one, while you're harvesting barrels and crates on the road, you could actually find some along the way. You could convert some low-grade fuel, or I should say some animal fat and some cloth. I don't know why you get animal fat of humans, but you do. And yes, once you collect this and you put them together, you're gonna have to make 13 of them in order to make up to 50, which is what we need in order to make a refinery forge. I suggest you make a refinery forge before you even go to do monument, because when you go do monuments, you could have the metal smelting back home. So when you come back, you have all that metal already finished and smelting, and it just saves you lots of time. Now let's say you're running low on animal fat. The best thing that I could tell you is to just hit the start button and just literally off yourself. You know, just press /stuck or whatever you want to do. There's also a little S, I don't want to say the word, but yes, it's right there at in the main menu. You could off yourself. You're gonna come back and harvest your body. You're gonna get tons of fat, and then we're just gonna make a refinery forge, put it to smelt some metal, and then start heading to the monument. Now when you place down the forge, make sure that you split the stacks of metal like this. That way you're gonna get more smelting out of it. If you put 3 stacks of metal to smelt rather than just one big stack, when you come back, you're gonna have way more metal than if you would just to put 1 stack there. Trust me, just do it. It helps out. Everybody does it. If you don't believe me, go look at any Rust player. Everybody does it. Now in future, guys, we're going to talk more about monuments and how do you do them, but for now this is just the starter guide. So if you continue to do this cycle, you're going to collect lots of scrap, and the first thing I'm going to tell you to do is head over to outposts. If your base is not an outpost yet, make sure you have a base by outpost. That way you could actually head here. As you can see, it's a big place. It's not only that, it's a safe zone, so nobody could kill you, so you are safe carrying loot around. You're gonna find what is called a worker's bench. If you guys don't know, there's some certain things that you need to be near a worker's bench level 1, level 2, or level 3 in order for you to actually craft certain items. In here, you're also gonna find a couple of, like, I guess you could say, stores that you could exchange your scrap for, whether it's things like, oh, you know, just regular materials, whether it's things like clothing, whether it's things like weapons and other stuff like that. You're gonna see it all here. It's also, there's a refinery as well here, so if you want to refine your stuff here and not have to stress that somebody's gonna come and clap you, as well as there's other things like a research table, and there's things like a repair bench. There's a lot of stuff. This is like why a lot of people always suggest for new players to start off at outposts. You're gonna see everything you need here without sacrificing and just getting stressed out about losing your stuff, honestly. Now, one of the things that I love about Rust is that unlike any other games, they have like what is called a blueprint system. Most games like Conan Exiles, Ark Survival Evolved, things like that have what is called a leveling system. So the higher level, the more, I guess you could say, blueprints or engrams or whatever you want to call them unlock. Now this is all fair and fun, but the problem is that when you have people that have been playing the game and they're higher level, they're gonna, of course, with leveling comes better stats, so they're gonna have way better stat, more HP, more melee, whatever it is, and they're gonna overcome you. The beautiful thing about Rust is that it has literally a blueprint system. So it literally is based on skill and luck. That's literally what it comes down to when it comes to this game. And just you finding things that you're going to need, like finding guns and things like that. Now, if you don't have a research table, what I would say, come over to Outlook near here, and you're gonna see the research table here. It's gonna be a blue table right there. You're just gonna put the item on the top, you're gonna put the item at the bottom, and then it's just gonna tell you how much scrap it's gonna cost in order for you to research it. Once you research the item, you're just gonna learn it, and boom, you actually have the blueprint. Now, before I actually researched this, I didn't have it. Now that I actually learned the blueprint, now I could craft these things. Now, remember when I told you a little while ago when I was like, you need to be near certain things in order for you to craft it? In order for you to craft advanced items, you're going to have to be near a worker's bench level 1. And there's other things like level 2 and level 3. Level 3 is more for like advanced stuff like C4 and things like that. And that's going to cost, I believe, like 500 or 1,000 scraps. I'm not too sure. But a worker's bench level 1 is only going to cost 50 scraps. So this should be fairly easy for you to just have it back at your base. If you're struggling to get scrap, then yeah, maybe you want to come here and use this one and not use your scrap for building a worker's bench, but rather to research or learn blueprints. That's a lot of things. My suggestion to you, the blueprints that you should learn as quickly as possible is going to be number 1, a double pump, like a double barrel. It's gonna be, you know, the hatchet and the pickaxe, the metal ones. They're fairly easy to make, and honestly, it just helps you like farm a lot easier. Other things that you should learn are, but these you find in the wild, are things like garage doors and stuff like that. But literally, my core things would be to get a double pump, to just get yourself a couple of farming tools, and that's it. And then just go out there and just make some plays. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoy this small guide. I try to keep it under 20 minutes as best as I could. Make sure to hit that like button if you like the guide. Make sure to subscribe for future guides, and make sure to hit that notification bell button to be notified whenever I post another video, as well as make sure to hit the notification bell button, because once we could stream this on Xbox or from Xbox and PS4, you know we're going to be streaming this live here on our channel, the BioLazer channel. But until next time, guys, bye.
Oh my God, if I die, I'm a legend.